What's good, everyone? Welcome back for another session and showcase. A little bit interesting conversation yesterday with Mass Ningen. We were just kind of talking about, crappy units and how I have a tendency of rainbowing and link leveling really obscure, crappy units. I thought about keeping this guy in my archives for a little bit, but because of the opportunity presented itself, I just went ahead and thought I would upload the showcase today. So for those unaware, this is the Super Strength Yamcha unit from the Worldwide Celebration, Global versus JP or Worldwide Clash or whatever it's called. Basically, the losing side, which was Global at the time, ended up getting the Yamcha card. So, just starting off the bat, I don't recommend you go through the link leveling process. It's simply not worth it. But for me, this stuff is quite fascinating, so for lack of better words, it's completely worthwhile for my time. Now, let me just break it down in terms of the stats themselves. Going into this, I was expecting maybe, optimistically speaking, 1 million in attack stats, as long as, he was able to reach some sort of level of that sort. I would have been perfectly content with that. But let's just talk about the skill sets real quick. So, leader skill for this guy is all types key plus 2 HP attack and defense plus 2000. Super attack will cause supreme damage to enemies, so at least he's got the supreme damage multiplier. The passive skill, it's not too terrible. I've seen a lot worse. Key plus 3, great chance of attack increase to 77%. I forgot what the great chance equivalent is, probably a 50% chance or something like that, but you do see it frequent enough to where the 77% increase toward attack does activate, so it's not too terrible in that regard. In terms of links, you've got Z Fighters. That's going to be, let's take a quick look, shall we? At level 10, attack increase of 20%. You've got Turtle Skull, which is key plus 2, attack and defense increase of 20%. Speedy Retribution is attack increase of 15%, chance of evading enemies' attack including supers by increase of 5%. You've also got Infighter, that's attack increase of 15%, all enemies defense minus 15%, and then Solid Support is also attack increase of 15%, and then all enemies defense minus 20%. A couple of categories for this guy: worthy rivals, Android, Cell Saga, Earthlings, Turtle Skull. I ultimately just decided to go with either Earthlings and Turtle Skull variations, mainly because I wanted to include the free-to-play LR Roshi, because at least for the Turtle Skull category units that this guy does fall into, gets a pretty decent boost from that alone. And 100% potential, as you saw, it's 9,274 for HP, attack is 10,105, and defense is 6,073. 12 key multiplier is 130%. Again, just to provide a little backstory, in addition to the Worldwide Clash or whatever it's called, it became available on JP on January 29, 2020, based on the anniversary coins, and Global originally got that on July 28th of 2017. Speaking of which, I made a pretty tragic mistake this 6-year anniversary. I forgot to spend the anniversary coins, so yeah, a lot of those went to waste, unfortunately, but you forget about it, it tends to happen. I think at the time I was probably just too busy working on link levels for all the new units I pulled. I got extremely lucky during the anniversary, so I guess my priorities were elsewhere at the time. So in terms of the overall team building that I decided to go with, I brought in obviously the free-to-play LR Krillin as the lead. He does provide a 150% boost toward Earthling category units, and then again the LR Roshi unit provides that 40% in addition to a key boost toward attack and defense of 40%. I did bring in the free-to-play LR Yamcha and Puar. A couple of other units that simply just, either would link well or provide some sort of passive boost, and that's pretty much the extent of it. The Super Battle Road LR Goku's on there, obviously provides that 30%. I think it might have actually been bumped up with the, Easy A or whatever, but I can't remember on top of my head. But basically, the main focus, for this showcase was really to boost up Yamcha's attack as much as possible. That's really what it comes down to. So, it's Earthlings category is a little bit of a funky category at this point. They could definitely further improve it in terms of the available units in the category, but I thought about worthy rivals. I did think about Android Cell Saga, but just from a team building standpoint for this unit, Earthlings and Turtle School just ultimately just worked out better. So that's why you don't see it in the other two categories, even though there are much better units in those two categories versus Earthlings and Turtle School. Just simply for this Yamcha unit, it's just a little bit harder to build out teams for him. So that's really what it comes down to. Now, I don't expect any sort of like improvements to happen with this unit. It's probably going to stay at max level 100 with no TUR upgrades or Dokkan Awakenings or whatever. Maybe it will. I don't know. I guess you can never say never, but I highly doubt it'll happen. You know what I'm saying? Maybe in a couple of years it might, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. And hence why I say it's simply not worth it to go through the link leveling process. It's probably not even worth the rainbow, but I love troll cards like this, and fortunately this guy's not too terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like you can at least get at least a production value in the range of like 700k on a pretty consistent basis. So it's not too terrible. I've literally seen units where you get the link levels to level 10 and they're still only producing like, I don't know, 400k in attack stats and barely any improvements toward defense. So I've seen a lot worse, but this guy certainly, I don't recommend you guys go through the link leveling process. So also, I think at the end of the day, this is why the channel exists, right? So you guys don't have to necessarily put in the work for these really obscure and crappy units. But I like to do this type of stuff just to add it to the collection, and just have, I don't know, a little bit of a shits and giggles session, as I always say, and it's a lot of fun for me. I don't know the other one that I showcased the other day that I feel like I said the exact same thing, but it's just fun for me, And at least this guy has a supreme damage multiplier, and he does get a decent enough boost toward attack with the passive skill, so it's not too terrible. The link sets, obviously you have to kind of build around it in terms of just including units that have Z Fighters, Turtle School, Infighters, somewhat of a common one. Speedy, Retribution, and Solid Support, they're a little bit obscure. I think you have to kind of really pinpoint certain units within your deck to be able to activate that link. But overall, like I said, I expected, maybe optimistically speaking, about 1 million in attack stats. I think he fell a little bit short of that, but maybe if I had put in the LR Goku unit and got a couple of super attacks in the rotation, he might have been able to hit it. But the thing about the LR Goku is he's definitely key hungry, so I didn't want to basically monopolize the key distribution of that guy. So in those cases, it's a little bit difficult to get the 18 key super attack for that guy, especially when he's paired up with the Yamcha. Obviously they don't necessarily link up that well, at least from Goku's side, but for Yamcha at least he benefits from the rotation with Goku on there. So that's pretty much the extent of the rotations themselves. I did have rotations where he was linked up with the LR Roshi unit. Again, provides a decent enough support for the Turtle School category units. I feel like, I don't know if I did at the end of the day, but I did have rotations where the free-to-play Tien and Roshi were on there. Obviously, the passive skill only provides a boost toward Universe 7 category units, but that unit actually does link fairly well with the Yamcha unit right here. So that's why, if you are asking questions about that specific rotation, that's essentially why I included the unit on there. So I think overall, it was, it's about what I expected in terms of like the overall performance. Defense is obviously very lackluster because he simply doesn't get any sort of defensive boost in terms of like, the passive skill or anything from that. Otherwise, you're kind of reliant on the supporting allies on the rotation. That's really what it comes down to. So obviously, this isn't meant to be tested in the tougher Super Battle Road or Legendary Goku event or whatever, what have you. It's simply commemorative unit just to have in your deck as a collection, really. That's simply what it comes down to, and that's why they created this unit, and that's why they distributed it out. Some of the units turned out fairly decent, in the past, where it was based on the winner loser type deal and whatnot, but there are vastly more amounts of free-to-play units that are substantially better than this unit, and I'm sure you saw that within this showcase here. Compared to LR Roshi and even like LR Goku or even some of the free-to-play Krillin units, they're simply just way better than a card like this. But that's it is what it is. I have a lot of fun. Definitely one of my proud cards in my collection, and I can close this out and say that he's at 100% potential with max level links, so I can just glance at it every now and then and just laugh my ass off, basically, I guess what it comes down to. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the showcase for the 100% potential Super Strength Yamcha unit from the Worldwide Clash or whatever it's called. Again, as always, I do appreciate you guys checking out each of the videos, and certainly stay tuned for the next one. I have a shit ton of units in my archive that I haven't posted yet, so maybe we'll get through them at some point. But until then, I guess I'll catch you guys later. Okay, peace out.